Hello, welcome to Nations and Generations. My name is Billy Mack Richard. If what we talk about moves you, makes you glad, or makes you mad, if it makes you laugh or makes your blood boil, but your heart is touched, then please consider subscribing to our channel, youtube.com, Nations and Generations. Make sure to hit the bell so you can be alerted every time we bring new information your way. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com, Nations and Generations. Also, you can sign up for email alerts at nationsandgenerations.com. I am a thankful man, and I'm always thankful when you share our program. It helps more than you may realize. Today, we're going to talk about pictures of understanding. What is it? What does it mean? Why does it matter? Thank you for stopping by today. We're talking about pictures of understanding. As we do, we need a little context. You know, the backstory, so that we're all looking at the same thing the same way. As we stand here in 2021, we have allowed our culture to become corrupted. This corruption has contaminated just about everything we as a nation and as a people stand for, and what we as a nation were founded upon. As this contamination, like a virus, has spread and grown, it's become easier to identify and recognize. But thank God, all is not lost. In fact, quite the contrary. But since we can identify this contamination, we can see the influences in different segments of our society, poisoning the way we think, how we hear, the very vocabulary itself. As a side note, I believe any reasonable thinking person would agree that there is an element of opposition that is done this by design. Now, you may call this element the deep state or the dark side or perhaps Luciferianism. Whatever the term works for you at this point is fine. However, we can agree there seems to be a malevolent, malicious, and nefarious element that has been and continues to try to overrun and redirect our country, our culture, our heritage, and our legacy. Now, lines of communication are paramount, and these lines of communication may change. In fact, these lines of communication are already changing. I think just about everyone is aware of the challenges around Twitter and Facebook and Parler, just to name a few. Be that as it may, the lines will continue to change even if it comes down to neighbor over the backyard fence. The predominant fact is we must have a clear, concise understanding of what words and phrases mean, the picture of understanding for all of us. Because of the pollution of our language, we must have more than just a definition, but an eye-opening aha moment of the concept of what we're saying, concepts that we can wrap our minds and our hearts around. Aesop used fables, Jesus used parables. We will endeavor to paint word pictures that bring concept and understanding to the definition of words. Words mean things, but a clear picture of understanding brings to bear the power that these words have. This is why there's such a battle for the control of our thoughts. Whoever controls a nation's thoughts can control the nation. You control what's heard, you control the understanding of what is heard, and you control that nation. I remember when I was in the 9th grade, I was required to take a civics class, as probably many of you were. I can remember my civics teacher very clearly, Mr. Dunn. One of my takeaways from Mr. Dunn's class as we looked at civics in the light of American history was this: it's more important to know what someone is for rather than just what someone is against. Let me say that again. It's more important to know what someone is for rather than just what someone is against. We must engage and move as one. True, we all have our parts to play and we all bring different things to the table. But to move as one, a well-oiled machine, one body working towards common goals, in order for this to happen, signals or words must be clearly understood when we send and receive them across whatever those changing lines of communication may be. In this series, we'll be looking at concepts and definitions of words that have shaped our culture and our country over the last century. From words the framers and founders used in the understanding of the Constitution to words in the Bible that our framers and founders of our nation relied on to bring understanding to a new nation and to relieve an old, outdated tyrant, King George, of the burden of these 13 colonies. These concepts are just as true today. One might even argue that these concepts are more relevant than ever before. You see, facts change, but truth never does. Truth is necessary to preserve our heritage and define our legacy. In our next video, we will be painting a picture of understanding for freedom and liberty. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell to be notified for future videos, share this with your friends and your families, so that together we can all have a better picture of understanding. Until we meet again, my name is Billy Mack Richard, reminding you that God is good and His mercy endures forever.